Enochian, the enigmatic lost language of the angels and divine beings. Dr. John Dee, 1527 to 1609, spent the majority of his life in Mortlake, West London. He was an occultist, mathematician, astronomer, and astrologer. Being an educated man and alumni of St. John's College in Cambridge, Dee rose through the ranks of the ruling elite and served as Queen Elizabeth I's science advisor and confidant. Dee was very less inclined towards supernatural during his younger days, but with time his disillusion with science eventually led him to try his hand at magic and mystical things. He was trying all these supernatural things as he was on a hunt to find out the lost spiritual knowledge and to find the lost sagacity which he believed to be buried in books of antiquity. And the Enochian language, then famous Book of Enoch, was one of these books, and he believed it was a book about the male system used by the patriarchs in the Bible. From the language of the witches to the unforeseen symmetry of the Voynich manuscript, there are many mythological languages. Enochian, the language of angels, stands out among all these mythological languages. Written down in the private journals of John Dee and his friend Edward Kelly in the late 16th century England, Enochian is an occult or angelic language. During Dee's magical experiments, Kelly worked with him, and Kelly was a spirit medium. They both revealed that Enochian angels taught them this language, and according to them, they communicated with angelic realms with the quote-unquote celestial speech that they discovered. The word Enochian is derived from the biblical figure Enoch. He was taken up to heaven and was a source of secret mystical knowledge. He walked with God. In Genesis 5:24, it's written, while in Hebrew 11:5 states that he was taken up from this life so that he did not experience death. Angelic, celestial speech, the language of angels, the holy language, or Adamical, were the terms used by Dee in his journal instead of Enochian to describe the language. He did so as he believed Adam used it to name all things in paradise. Before Dee and Kelly, there was a person named Enoch who knew the language because of which the language was named Enochian. During John Dee's time, a lot of people thought that an antediluvian angelic language was present, before the Great Flood, that is. This idea was common, as according to many passages of the Bible, angels interacted with humans on a regular basis, so for that interaction there would be a common language. That language would be a low and degrading language for angels, but very complex for humans. It was in 1581 when the Enochian language was first mentioned. In his diary, John Dee reported that God had sent him an angel to tell him what he intended. John Dee joined Edward Kelly in 1582 as a medium, and they both worked together. Apparently, they both successfully managed to establish contact with that angel, who also revealed to them some basic information about the Enochian language. To be precise, according to Dee, Enochian is the language of God, the language he used to give a physical form to his intellect, which is what led to the creation of the entire cosmos. Similar to Adam, angels are able to speak that language, but they lack the subtlety and delicacy of God's tongue. Men who are even less qualified than angels are forced to use clumsy and erroneous pronunciation, and when compared to the Enochian language's intricacies, the human language sounds like infant babble. Adam and Eve took the Enochian language with them after they were exiled from heaven because of the awkward tree of knowledge scenario and that apple that never existed. This was the same language that Adam had used to name everything. John Dee put forth a theory that, with time, the Enochian language deteriorated until it evolved into what we now call Proto-Hebrew. The Enochian alphabet is available in two versions. Manuscript D is one of the first 5 mysterious books, DEE, after John Dee's work. It contains the first version of the Enochian alphabet, and the second version is so often more widely acknowledged than Liber Logeth's grimoire of John Dee and Edward Kelly's Enochian. After Kelly's original drawing, as per some magicians, predating all other human languages, Enochian is the world's oldest language, they claim. In some communities, Enochian is believed to be one of the most powerful magical strains and a way to communicate with extra-dimensional intelligence. Critics have noted that Enochian language's grammatical structure has striking similarities to the natural English language, particularly in the dialects of Dee and Kelly, along with several short English translations of the Enochian language. The language can be found in the diaries and notebooks of John Dee and Edward Kelly. There are far more critics than supporters of this language. However, famous linguists are still studying the Enochian language. What do you think about this? This is on Infinite Explorers by Kastab Chaudhuri. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.